Hi guys, welcome to a replay analysis. In today's video, we have a diamond, yeah, I think so. A diamond Zerg versus Terran versus each other. We're looking at the Zerg's perspective, Mr. Space Monkey. We're gonna see what's going. It's platinum. It's platinum. Just joking. We're gonna see what's going on here. All right, this build's already fucked up. Let's see what your plan is. Okay, so you're going for the pre-Overlord hatchery build. The only thing I would say about this build that I don't know if... the only thing I don't like about this build is against Terran. I feel like this is... if I were really to break your build down right now, this would only work versus someone that would actually leave after they scouted your natural. Also, I feel like your natural is wrong because I feel like you should be making the natural before the Overlord. Because with the way this is going, this guy might not realize what's going on. There's a very good chance of that. But this hatchery going down right now is pretty fucking obvious that it's not hatch first. It's so late. And I feel like the only chance this has to do any damage is if the Terran gets bamboozled and he doesn't realize you're going pool first. Because all he has to do to not take damage from this is put a depot right there. And then build his command center like right there. Now, if he doesn't do that... Okay, there you go. So, in my opinion, I feel like you're behind right now. I'm not the biggest fan of this. I mean, we can not really focus too hard on it, but I feel like you're behind right now in the pacing of what the game should be like. Now, if he overreacts and does a bunch of shit that's just like weird, then that's a thing, right? That's on him. But overall, you just went for a pool first opener versus a standard macro build Terran, and you accomplished making him build the CC on the high ground. That was it. You killed no SCVs. You killed no buildings. You also made him pull off like 2 SCVs to repair the depot for like 10 seconds. Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah. So the game goes on, right? But I feel like this is, yeah. I like Terran's position better over than the Zergs here. All right. This guy is nuts with how he places buildings. Okay, let's go back to you. Let's talk about you again. Go back a little bit. All right, so let's talk about your early Lings really fast. Now, you have Lings at his base right now. You're heading there right now. You're making drones again. I'm glad. I approve. I, however, don't like how you undervalue your mineral line right now. I do not like how you're going for speed as a priority over your minerals. And the reason why is because you are guaranteeing you're going to get a really fucking slow third now. You're not getting a third for a while now because you're going to be spending all your money on getting Zergling speed and getting your queens out. And you won't be able to afford a third base. If you would have instead maintained this at a 16 from the bat and then would have gone into gas on your natural on your gas, you could have actually taken your third and then got a later link speed by like probably 20 seconds later or 30 seconds later. And that would have given you a third base to fall back on. You wanted to end it early. Well, if you wanted to end it early, there's a lot of better builds you could have done than what you opened with. You actually are putting yourself in a negative before you actually want to end it early. Like this is my opinion. When your 12 pool, or not 12 pool, when your early pool with your gas tricks failed, you essentially put yourself in a situation as if the game would have started and the Terran had 12 SCVs and you had 10 drones. Like, you're just at a disadvantage at that point. It's not like, oh, it's all's fair, all's good. You're actually behind.
Our forces are under attack.
But I'm glad you're making drones. I do not like how you're letting your larva sit there now though, but you're also supply blocked. So I feel like you actually did not make any overlords during your Ling attack. And then you made drones. And then you got distracted by the Reaper probably. And then you realized, oh, I'm fucking supply blocked. I gotta make overlords. So now you're super blocked. And you can't do anything with all of this larva sitting here. It's a lot of larva. So that begs the question that you shouldn't be doing aggressive builds in Platinum. I would honestly recommend. This is exactly what happens to people in Plat. The more they try to do, the more they fuck themselves. It's genuinely honest. And now you're going for a layer on 2 bases with drones with Zergling speed as a priority. This build makes no sense now. If you're going to go for a 2-base layer build and you're playing from a position of being behind, you should have just literally went layer first. And I feel like this is maybe not intentionally, or maybe it's like, well, fuck. I don't know. Should I go layer now because I'm not going to take a third? Because I was supply blocked and I had a lot of money and now I'm just going to take another gas and just say fuck it. Or maybe it was premeditated. Either way, if you're going to go for a layer early like this, just get a layer. Because what you could do with Zergling speed, like what are you actually going to do with Zergling? Think about it for a second. If Terran gets aggressive, what are you going to do? He gets aggressive with Hellions. Or let's say he gets aggressive with something. Are you going to make a bunch of Lings? I would say the more cost-efficient option would be spend only 2 larvae instead of like 15 larvae on Evo chambers and put them in front of your base and stand in the middle of it with your queens. And that would give you the ability to make drones, which is what you're doing anyways, and not having to get Ling speed first. So you could prioritize your tech faster, which gives you faster timings, which means the window of time when you take damage, when you only have Lings to defend yourself, goes down. Now we'll have to see what you want to do with the layer. But yeah, you're behind right now, so you got to cut a corner in some way to give yourself an edge, and this is definitely not doing it for you. Ling speed, all that's reinforcing is that if you get attacked, you're going to make a bunch of Lings, and that's going to guarantee you're going to die, because you're going to have a really shit Ling count. Because you're making drones and taking a lot of gas early, and you're not expanding. So your Lings are going to suck if he attacks you. And now you're making static D on top of that. You're actually so poor right now compared to where you'd want to be. Because I'm going to throw it out there and say this for all Zerg players. You shouldn't feel good if you're tied with Terran. It's not actually a good feeling. It's actually a bad feeling. You should... If you're going to play a game against Terran, in general, you should want to be ahead of them in supply, especially if you're going to make units that are supply inflating. We'll see what you do with your layer. You gotta spend your larva faster, man. Your larva is just chilling constantly. You're also supply blocking a lot.
Our forces are under attack.
So much larva. And now you're taking a third. So your build is just completely out of order, in my opinion. It's super out of order. I'm gonna go Lingbane Muta here. My question to you would be, what was the point of getting a fast layer? And what was the point of getting triple gas really early? You're doing nothing with your layer. There's genuinely no point to have done that. You would have been so much better off if you would have just prioritized your minerals first, Slowly got Ling Speed, because as you can see, you've had Ling Speed now for also like 2 minutes, and it's done nothing. Slowly get your Ling Speed. Take a drone or 2 off gas. Take a third base super fast. And now you'd actually have, instead of having 3 gases fully pumping and a Baneling Nest just starting with a layer, you'd have a hatchery with no Bane Nest at when you had a hatchery. But you could have eventually taken, because you have a lot of gas as well, right? You have so much fucking bank. You could have eventually, I'm not going to say you're going to be at 6 minutes on a fucking hatchery still. You could have eventually taken your layer and then taken your Baneling Nest. Probably like a full minute or like maybe 90 seconds later than you took it. Or probably like 1 minute. And then after you take the layer, then you could have taken your Bane Nest. But the difference of your mineral line and what that would look like is this would not exist right here. And instead your third base would have 16 drones on it already. You'd have a fully third base mineral line saturated. And what are you making right now? Zerglings. You're making Zerglings anyways. You could make them faster and more of them. And then you could take your layer with more gas at that point with your Baneling, get your Baneling speed. Then you take your Evos with your 1-1. And you'd have, because again, like what you're doing, this is basically the easiest way to explain this. If you 2-base layer tech and you're going to go Ling Bane Muta, you had fucking better be going Mutas first. Because you're doing a gas-focused build. And Mutas are the only thing in that build that are gas-focused. If you're going to go Muta Ling Bane, though, and you're going to go prioritize Ling Bane with Muta support, you're not going to just go mass Mutas with Ling Bane support. You're going to actually prioritize Ling Bane instead. You should not be fucking rushing a layer with gas. Because Ling Bane is mineral-focused. You need hatcheries for that. You need queens for that. You need Zerglings for that. You need overlords for that. Mineral, 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 mineral. Not gas. So your build is actually fucking rough right now for you. Not great. It doesn't make any sense. Like, look at the income of minerals right now. The Terran is whomping your ass in minerals. Which is also why you're behind him by 6. You're at 60, he's at 80. You're behind by 20 supply right now. You also aren't macroing very well. But your priorities here are very backwards as to what you're going for. And now you're 40 supply behind almost. And you see what I mean? Like now you still didn't really make much Ling Bane. And you made a bunch of Bane actually. You have more Banes than Lings right now. But then you make Mutas. This doesn't make any sense either. Because you prioritized Banelings and upgrades and Bane, or you didn't prioritize Baneling speed. But you prioritized 1-1 and a bunch of Banes before Mutas, and you're opening up with Mutas as soon as you make the Spire. Just throwing it out there, if you're going to go Ling Bane priority, you shouldn't be making Mutas until you're probably like at 120 supply. Like 4 base saturated. Like you have so much fucking money that you can get all these upgrades and support your army with Mutas. And you're going to stop making Mutas probably like at 10 or like 14 Mutas, somewhere around there. But if you're going to go Mutas before you really have much of anything, off of 2 bases specifically, because you don't even have a third set up yet, like it's not, nothing is going on there. This is still equivalent to a Muta priority. It's just you delayed it to make these and these, which means that's now like like 5 Mutas less than you would have had. Like what are 5 Mutas going to do? Not much. What are 10 Mutas going to do? A lot more. 10 Mutas could get into a mineral line and kill that entire mineral line in probably like 6 seconds. 5 Mutas are going to get in the mineral line and kill the mineral line in like kill 4 SCVs or like 6 SCVs in like 8 seconds or something, and then he's going to push you away because you have 5 Mutas. If you even get in there at all. Maybe you get zoned out by 1 missile turret. And then you're rushing your hive, it looks like. Infestation Pit's super fast. You have no economy right now. I'm going to throw it out there and say this. Genuine statement here, okay? You are going Mutaling Bane, and right now you have 5 and 4 more on the way. You could honestly be at an army of 9 Muta at 8 minutes and 10 seconds. You could have 9 Muta at 8 minutes and 10 seconds. And a lot more Lingbane and a lot more drones and a lot more base in general. And right now, again, I know this is platinum, but I just want to throw it out there and say if you cleaned up your order of your path of building and what you're doing, you could honestly be probably like 150 supply right now. 140 supply, 140, 150. And you could have 9 meters just like you do. But you could have a fuckload more Lingbane and drone. And you definitely should be going Muta priority, or sorry, Lingbane priority, because you want to know why. Muta priority only makes sense. It only makes sense to go Muta priority if you're going to be aggressive, like right away. And you're gonna, because here's what Muta priority does. It weakens your economy because you go gas so fast. If you go gas really fast, what does an economy cost? What does a drone cost? What does a hatchery cost? What does a queen cost? What does an overlord cost? These are all economy developers. They all cost pure minerals. So if you're fucking getting a lot of gas and you're weakening your mineral count early, you're weakening your economy. And if you don't weaken your opponent's economy, it makes no sense to prioritize mutas. If you make mutas to sit there in your base passively, it literally makes no sense. You need to go Lingbane priority instead then, if you're going to play this way. And add mutas on later, once you've then added on the gas after mineral priority, and you can afford it, and then your gas just starts developing, and then you add on mutas. And again, that's around the time when you would be starting mutas at like 120 supply. So it's not a priority. This makes legit no sense for you.
Mineral field depleted. The hive cluster is under attack.
Because like, what did the mutas do in that fight? They did nothing. You just used your Lingbane only. The mutas haven't even moved.
Our drones are under attack. Mineral field depleted. A queen tumor.
Also, really make sure you get Baneling speed whenever you go Banes. If you don't get Baneling speed, that's brutal.
Our forces are under attack.
Okay, so this is the part that's scary about mutas. Okay, this is why I would also say doing builds like this in platinum are hard. I'm gonna put you under the microscope here for a second, Space Monkey. I'm gonna stare at your production tab the entire time you're attacking, and I'm also gonna look at your hatcheries periodically. Every like 20 seconds, I'm gonna look at your hatcheries and see if you're injecting. Watch your production tab and watch your injects, and let's watch your camera as well.
Our forces
Okay, you injected.
under attack.
You have not produced a single thing since it started. You did inject though. On two out of 3 of your hatcheries injected. Your main did not, but 2 out of 3 did. But you have only made one. You made one drone before this even started. You're running your mutas around. You're running your mutas back into death, and then all your mutas died. And then you made mutas pretty much as you were dead. Definitely not worth it. So if you're going to muta harass someone, I would have said, you got to understand what's more scary, right? Are like 15 Marines with stim pack, it's actually 13 Marines, but are 13 Marines with +1 weapons and stim pack scarier than 1 missile turret? And the answer is fuck yes, they are. 13 Marines and with stim pack and +1 weapons is about the same DPS as like 13 missile turrets on mutas. Like, it's fucking insane. Maybe not that much. Maybe more like 10 turrets, but yeah. It's worth a lot. 13 Marines with stim pack +1 weapons as well is actually fucking nuts versus mutas. So you should have actually flew deeper into his base and hit more mineral lines. Hit more mineral lines. Not turned around into the Marines. So you kind of fucked yourself there. But again, that requires judgment calls, and it requires multitasking. And you were not macroing shit that whole time you were making Mutas fire on his base. Nice attempt on your injects, though, honestly, but you didn't make anything, though, until your Mutas were dead.
Mineral field depleted.
And again, you're going for a Muta priority again. You would, I feel like you're having fun playing this game, and I commend you for that. That's totally fine. But if you play this way for real, you're never going to get out of Platinum. And the reason why is because the only way your build would work with a Muta priority is if you fucking destroyed his base. Consistently. Not just like once as well. Like consistently, you're doing really good damage with the Mutas all the time. Like repeatedly throughout the game. Every 30 seconds, you're flying in another base, killing shit. Flying in another base, killing shit. Because the way you're setting yourself up, you have nothing. You're doing like Mutas only almost. So he's going to push you and you're just going to die. And your supply isn't that much lower than it was a second ago. I don't think you broke 100 supply almost this entire game. And he's almost maxed out. And that max out that he has right now, it might seem like this Terran played really impressive, but being at 180 supply at 11 minutes is not that impressive. It's that you're doing a Muta priority and you're not doing a lot of the things that you need to do with Ling Bane. Way too much gas, way too fast. Way too much tech, way too fast. Not enough drones. And not enough Ling Bane. You're basically taking like let's say it like this. Let me say it like this. This is actually real, okay? This is real. You have two choices on how to set up your game. You can either take your money, your minerals specifically, and you can invest it into things that generate more minerals. Like, imagine, okay? Imagine this, okay? Kamui. We're going to give you like a real life situation. Imagine if you had $10,000 right in your hand right now. You have $10,000. And then you have two choices. You have someone telling you, hey, I know a way we can invest that. You'll spend money on it now, but it'll make you more money in the long run. And then you have another person saying, hey, how about you buy this furniture for your living room? And you're like, well, do I want to buy the new furniture or do I want to spend my money to invest my money? What you're doing is you're being like, all right, I'll put like 1,000 into the investment and I'll put 1,000 into the furniture. Then I'll put 1,000 into the investment. Then I'll put 1,000 into the furniture. You're like divvying up your money like 50-50. A little bit of investment, a little bit of furniture, a little bit of investment, a little bit of furniture. And let's say your goal is to like fully furnish your house or something like that. Like you got to fill up like 8 rooms of fucking furniture. And then let's say another guy puts his entire fucking bankroll in the investment and then he gets money back and he puts that all in the investment and gets more money back and gets all the money in the investment. And now instead of having $10,000, this motherfucker has like $50,000 because he's invested so much that he's like he's like 5 times over his money. He's quintupled his money. And then he buys all the furniture at once. And then he still has money left over because let's just say hypothetically the furniture only costs 20K, which was double what you started with. So you're just developing in a really slow way the way you're playing it out. Gas is like buying furniture. Drones mining minerals is like investing your money into more investment because it develops your economy. The gas should be a byproduct of a good economy. It should not be a focus of a good economy. The only time gas is ever a focus of a economy in StarCraft 2 is if you're all in as fuck. If you're not all in, why the hell are you going gas? It doesn't make any sense. Just like if you had $10,000 and you were like, yeah, I fucking need it today though. Like if for some reason you got to have it now and you're like, I know I need $20,000 worth, but I only got 10K. I don't got fucking time to invest. Let's do it. Then you got to all in it, right? You just got to go fucking ham on that shit. But if there's nothing forcing you to all in, like if your build isn't all in, you don't need to fucking blow all your fucking minerals on gas early. It doesn't actually help you. So you're actually fucking yourself over so bad the more you do that. You should literally... This should be your standard from now on, Kamui. Saturate 3 mineral lines fully off of 1 gas. And then as soon as you fully saturate 3 mineral lines, take all your fucking gases at once. With new drones that don't rip off the mineral line. And then from now on, after that, base number 4, base 5, base 6, base 7, whatever... Take your gas and minerals at the same time. And make sure you're maintaining like 80 drones. Like 80 to 85 drones. And that's all you got to do. And then do that with your economy. And then from that point, make macro hatches wherever you can when your money gets really high. Because I guarantee if you play that way, you're going to have a fuckload of minerals. And you're going to be like, I can't spend this. Jesus Christ, I'm not used to having this much money. Yeah, you're going to need macro hatches because otherwise you're not going to spend the money. Even a really high level player needs macro hatches when they make lings as their main focus when they play this way because lings are really cheap. So you're going to probably need like 3 macro hatches or some shit like that on like 4 bases. So you'll be on like 7 hatches on 4 bases. And you'll be like, wow, I'm actually crushing Terran's supply. He's got 110 and I have 152. Play that way. You'll have so much more success. Hopefully that helps you. But Kamoy, thank you very much for doing a replay analysis. Guys, thanks for watching. This has been a platinum Lingbane Muta discussion. And anyone out there who is like, fuck Beta GM vibe, I want a micro. I'm going Muta Lingbane. Well, hopefully this helps you. But thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, peace out, much love, and good luck in your games. Bye, guys. See ya.